Good morning students. In the last class we had discussed about the human respiratory system. So let me give a brief information about all the topic which we had covered till the last session. So in the last session you had studied that the human respiratory system consists of the nose. So let me zoom the picture so that you will get a clear view. So here the nose, here is the nose, and this nose passes as the nasal cavity here, and then the nasal cavity continues as pharynx. So here you can see the pharynx, and this pharynx continues as larynx. So this is the larynx. So the larynx, already you have familiar with the word voice box. So the larynx itself, it is called as the voice box. So the larynx continues as the trachea. So here you can see the trachea. So this part of the image, it is nothing but the trachea. So the trachea, again it is supported by the cartilaginous rings. So here these are the cartilaginous rings which you can see here. So after this, the trachea, the lower end of the trachea divides into two branches called as the bronchus. So here these are the bronchi. So these are commonly called as the bronchi, and these bronchi give rise to the bronchioles. And these bronchi, bronchioles and all are present in a dome shaped organ, that is the conical shaped organ called as the lungs. So these two are the lungs, and the lungs again they are present on a dome shaped organ called as the diaphragm. So this is the diaphragm which you can see here. So children, where does the purification of the air takes place which you had taken inside your body? So here, after you take the air inside your body, what happens? The lungs which are conical in shaped, along with the help of the alveoli. So here the branch like structures which are able to see here, they are called as the alveoli. The lungs along with the alveoli help in the purification of the gases which you had inhaled, means that you had taken inside. So children, till here we had discussed in the last session, and now today in this session let us discuss about the two new terms called as the mechanism of breathing and as well as the breathing rate. So first let us start with the mechanism of breathing. So with regarding to the mechanism of breathing, again we have two new terms called as the inhalation and as well as the exhalation. So what is this inhalation? So the process of taking in air which is rich in oxygen, this process it is called as the inhalation. So let me tell you once again, the process of taking in air which is rich in oxygen, it is commonly called as the inspiration. So when you take the air inside your body, only the oxygen has to be entered into our body, but whereas the carbon dioxide should be exhaled, means it has to be removed out of our body. So the process of liberating the carbon dioxide which has entered into your body with the help of lungs, it is called as exhalation. So here you can see the process of releasing carbon dioxide from our body is called as exhalation or expiration. So let me rewind the topic. Inspiration, it is the process of taking in air which is rich in oxygen, it is called as inhalation, and the process of releasing the carbon dioxide from our body with the help of lungs is called as exhalation. So these two are the processes which are required for the mechanism of breathing. So what is this mechanism of breathing and what are the changes that happen during the mechanism of breathing? So let us discuss this by watching the diagram. So here you can see, so in the inhalation process, the diaphragm contracts or moves down. But how does this happen? So once the air gets passed from your nose, it passes through the nasal cavity, enters into your lungs, and after entering into your lungs, the chest cavity starts to expand, means the rib cage and the muscles which are present around the lungs start to expand or increase. And once the chest cavity and the rib muscles start expanding, the diaphragm which is present in the lower part of the lungs gets contracted. Once the diaphragm gets contracted, it becomes like a sheet-like structure, and this process it is called as the inhalation. So during this inhalation, let me repeat once again. So the air gets inside our body, passes from the nasal cavity and larynx and reaches the trachea, and after the trachea it passes into two conical shaped organs called as the lungs, and the lungs start to expand and the diaphragm starts to decrease, or it starts to become flat like structure. So this process, it is called as the inhalation. So you can observe in the diagram. So during the inhalation process, the chest cavity, as you can see the arrow mark here, they are starting to expand, means they are starting to increase. The chest cavity starts to increase and the diaphragm automatically starts to reduce in its size, and it starts to become like a sheet like structure. So as the chest cavity starts to expand and the diaphragm starts to become like a sheet like structure, what happens? The pressure outside the body starts to increase, but whereas the pressure inside the body starts to decrease. So in order to maintain this pressure, the air which has entered, it starts to rush towards the lungs, and when the air rushes towards the lungs, the oxygen which is present inside our body gets absorbed by the blood, and the CO2, that is the carbon dioxide which is present inside our body, has to be eliminated outside. So already I think I had explained about the term called as exhalation. So what is that? Nothing but exhalation. It is giving away the carbon dioxide outside our body. So now let me explain the exhalation process. Already I had explained the exhalation term. So what is this exhalation? It is nothing but liberating the excess of carbon dioxide gas which has entered into our body. So what are the different changes that happen in our body during the process of exhalation then? So it is just quite opposite to the term called as the inhalation now. So let me explain this. So in the exhalation process, what happens then? The rib cage or the chest cavity starts to decrease. In the inhalation process it was increasing, but here now they start to decrease. So here you can see the arrow marks, what they are indicating, they are downward in nature. So once the chest cavity gets decreased, next what happens? The diaphragm starts to rise up, means the diaphragm start to move upward. So now the carbon dioxide gas has to be eliminated or removed away from our body. So then how does this happen? So during this, the diaphragm which is present here, automatically it starts to increase, and as well as the chest cavity starts to become decreased. So you can see the arrow marks, they are bending down. So the chest cavity starts to decrease and the diaphragm starts to increase. And after this what happens? The air which was present inside your body, it starts to move from the diaphragm by the lungs, and from the lungs to the trachea, and from the trachea to the larynx, pharynx and nasal cavity, and outside our body through the nose. So this completes the process called as the exhalation. So during the exhalation process, what happens then? The air pressure which is inside the body is more or greater when compared to the air pressure which is outside the body. So this completes the exhalation process. So children, do you want me to rewind the topic inhalation and exhalation, that is nothing but the differences once again? Okay, I will just try to differentiate between the inhalation and the exhalation process. So in the inhalation process, what happens? The diaphragm contracts downwards, but in the exhalation process, the diaphragm starts to move up. The chest cavity increases in the inhalation process, but in the exhalation process, the chest cavity starts to decrease. In the inhalation process, the pressure of the air which is outside the body is more, but in the exhalation process, the pressure of the air which is present inside the body is more. So till now you had studied about the inhalation and exhalation, that is nothing but the mechanism of the breathing rate. So now actually what is breathing? So during breathing what happens? The air which is present inside our body, that is in the inhalation process, has to be ended up by liberating the carbon dioxide, that is nothing but exhalation. Together, that is the inhalation and exhalation together constitute the term called as the breathing. So here you can see taking in of air to the body from the lungs by the inhalation and giving away the carbon dioxide from the body to get by exhalation together form the breathing, or in simple, inhalation and exhalation together form the term called as the breathing. So now you are clear with the new term called as the breathing. So now let us move to the next topic, that is nothing but the breathing rate. So what is this breathing rate, and are there any changes with the breathing rates? So let us study this concept now. So here, breathing rate, it is nothing but the number of times a person breathes in 1 minute. It is nothing but breathing rate. So it gradually means that how many times you are taking in air and liberating the air outside in 1 minute. It is nothing but the breathing rate. So children, I'll ask you a question now. Does the breathing rate remain constant? Okay, I'll give one example so that you'll be able to catch it in a simple way. So consider that you are watching a movie and you are relaxing in a sofa and you are watching a movie. But in the other situation, you are continuously dancing or you are continuously cycling. So what does happen now? Gradually, in the first case, your breathing rate will be less. But in the second case, that is in the dancing or in the cycling, what happens? Your breathing rate gradually increases. So when we are doing any heavy exercises or any heavy works, so we require more amount of energy. To get more amount of energy, what we do then? We take more amount of oxygen. This oxygen combines with the bloodstream and gives energy, and in turn we release the carbon dioxide, means our breathing rate gradually increases. But in the normal conditions it remains less. So let us have a look on the normal condition and in the heavy exercises situation. So the normal breathing rate in humans, it is approximately 12 to 20 breaths per minute. But whenever you do the heavy exercises, it gradually increases. It may reach up to 80 breaths per minute. So this is the breathing rate. So children, this is related to the human breathing rate. Now let us take the comparison of other animals. So here you can see, with regarding to the comparison of the breathing rate of other animals, that is the cattle or cow, it is nothing but 25 to 30 minutes, that is 25 to 30 breaths per minute. Horse, it is usually 8 to 16 breaths. Sheep, 10 to 20. Goat, also it is 10 to 20. And pig also, it is nothing but 10 to 20 breaths per minute. But when you go to the lower organisms, means little bit smaller organisms like dog, it increases, that is 16 to 30 breaths per minute. Cat, 20 to 30 breaths per minute. And a rat, it is also having the breathing rate around 60 breaths per minute. But the newborn baby, it has the usual breathing rate around 30 to 40 breaths per minute. So this is about the term called as the breathing rate. So children, let us have the summary on what we have learned today. So that is the summary. So first we had learnt about what is the mechanism of the breathing and the new term called as the breathing rate. So till now we had studied all these topics, and in the next session I'll be meeting up with a new topic, that is how does oxygen gets transported throughout our body, and as well as an interesting topic, why do we yawn. Okay, thank you children. Have a nice day.